All righty. Lights, camera, action. Ladies and gentlemen, worldwide from far and near, I do want to say, man, I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to interview one of my good brothers, brother I've been knowing for many, many years, who is not only a fantastic brother, but he's also an amazing artist. And, I think his journey into the work that he does has a lot that we can gain from in terms of like getting acquainted with his story and seeing what he's been able to do. And I'm just like, man, no matter what this brother did, man, this brother's always stayed true to what it is that he's about in terms of his value and his art and his expression. And man, this is just one of my favorite people on the planet, man. One of my good brothers who goes by the name of Jaess, man. Welcome to the Akomacast, brother.
Thank you for having me. That was a great intro, brother. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. You know what I mean? You can record that.
Man, yeah. It's a pleasure, man. It's all real, man. And I'm noticing in the background, man. I mean, like I remember, man, from way back when.
Yeah.
When we was making our attempt, to be like, Beat Street, City Break, you know what I'm saying? Turbo and Ozone.
Yeah.
And, you had a flair for style then. And I'm looking in the back, man, I see all your kicks, man. I'm like, dang, man, you're like a true sneakerhead or something.
I had my son. He had made this stand. I'm like, man, can you put this stand together for me? I'm like, I need somewhere because my shoes was all over the floor before, and so when my daughter would come by, stepping on them, like, yo, like, no, hey, like, hey, what are you doing?
That's $100 right there.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, don't do that. I love my shoes.
Word up.
Yeah, but
Okay, y'all. So family, you all know what the Akomacast is about, man. The Akomacast is about exploring that connectivity for us as Black people, as African people around the world. We're out to make the world better by making ourselves better. And it's all about connectivity, definitely through love and discovering our value for one another, man. And that's what we're about. So anytime I get a chance to meet awesome people on the planet, man, my goal, man, is to bring them before you. And let's try to connect to their experience and make each other better, man. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So, man, so if you don't mind, man, I'm ready to get into this thing, man. All right?
Yeah.
All right, word up. All right. So, man, ever since, we were younger, man, like you've always been a creative. You know what I'm saying? Like you was always nice with your pen, in terms of like, your expression, in terms of drawing and, all kinds of stuff, man. And then somehow that parlayed into music. So my first question is, man, you've been doing a lot of production work. When did it start for you? When did your journey, how did you even get into music? Where did your influences come from? Where did it all begin? Go for it.
Well, growing up in Detroit, both of, my father was like a manager for a production company growing up. And so my father, he also played saxophone in Edwin Starr's group, War, you know what I mean? So I always been around music, and so my father, growing up listening to Parliament Funkadelics, growing up listening to jazz, the Miles Davis, growing up listening to Led Zeppelin, Kiss, whatever you want to call it, rock, jazz.
Look like we got a little hitch there. Man.
And so King of Rock.
Okay, hold on, wait. You got to go back, bro. You got to go back. Okay, we got a little hitch there. All right, family. So we're going to go back. All right, we had a little glitch.
Okay.
So you mentioned Led Zeppelin, and you mentioned Kiss, and I just wanted to just point out, man. I just remember, man. Way back when we were kids, I seen all kind of wax. you know, at you guys' house, you know, and I seen that Kiss album, brother, and brother, y'all was the only black family I knew with a damn Kiss album, brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like, what is this? And so, so I could definitely vouch for that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only black family
my old dude, he was into all kinds of music. You know what I mean? So, you know, so jazz, rock, R&B, you know.
Okay.
Fusion. So he was really into a lot of it. So, you know, eventually that's gonna rub off on you. The music you hear when you're a kid, all the music I heard when I was a kid, I want to get now. You know what I mean? So everything I've heard, and you know, I tell you, I almost got every album that I heard when I was younger that I heard growing up. I have all but one. I am waiting for them to make an app that you can sing a song into, and it tells you the song. It's stuck in my head, brother.
Well, no. I think there is something out there. I forget the name of the joint, but there is an app where you can kind of hum it, and it'll try to look it up for you. I forget the name of the joint, man. I forget the name of the app.
I remember being a kid, and I remember, you know, everybody didn't have video cameras growing up. So I remember my dad had a video camera, right? And, there used to be this. It was a brother that was a magician in the hood, right?
Right.
And and I remember this brother doing magic in my living room, right? Growing up, right? And so we had like the black background, and it's like this brother with this afro was doing like pulling like you know, the little stuff out of hats and stuff, and I remember the song that they was playing, it's still stuck in my head to this day, brother. And I'm just like, I cannot find this song. I went on every funk compilation I done went on, and I still cannot find this song, but I'll find that song one day. You know what I mean?
Man, hey, you know what? You might just have to I don't know, maybe Dad, you know what I mean? Like, maybe he can recall it, man. Did you ever consult him? You ever ask him that?
I did, yo. I did. I used to be like, Dad, it's this song. And you know how, you know, black people get older, they yelling out every song that is not the song. You know what I mean? So you're like, nah, that's not it, Dad. No. Function. No,
hey, but it goes like dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
dun.
yeah. You know what I mean? And he's like, maybe it was Confunction. Maybe not, Dad. Maybe not. I didn't heard all these songs. You sure it wasn't Parliament? I know it wasn't. All right, I know it wasn't. Like, all right, and then you end up being like, forget it. I found, hey, one day.
Okay, all right. So you got these influences. You exposed to them. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, I mean, in the 80s, you know, we weren't really trying to like really, you know, like trying to produce anything like that. So when did you get your hands on some equipment and you start making use of all of these like awesome influences that you were exposed to when you were a kid? Yeah.
Like, even though my father played saxophone growing when he was younger, I never seen it in the house. You feel me? I think he had been sold it after that. You know what I mean? So to this day, I have never seen him play it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, my uncles. I had uncles that played. Like, one of my uncles plays in the jazz trio. And you know, and my other uncles played guitar and bass. So I've always been around it, but you know, they never want me to touch their stuff. And so you know how that go, being a kid. You know what I mean?
Hey, brother, I think I still got that picture, man. You know, when we went to go check out your uncle, you know, and he was featured down in one of the Detroit jazz festivals.
Yeah, Hart Plaza,
Grand Boulevard, or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, bro.
All right, yeah, but I'm trying to get, because I think you were one of the first brothers I knew with an MPC. All right, you know, like, I think you were the first one. You know, I had never seen nobody in Michigan. Actually, wait. I take that back. I think this one person had an MPC 60 or something like that, but we didn't know what it was when I was a sophomore in high school, and it wasn't really until I got into college and we really started trying to do this thing. And I said, and I want to say, but I think one time, you know, I came down to check you out in Atlanta. You was already working with the MP. So I'm like, you know, like, when did you pick up your first piece of equipment, man? And
I was when I had moved to Atlanta to go to college, I I kind of knew what I want. I was like, nah, I want to make music, right? And so what I did, I went and I took one of my checks that I was supposed to use for living to move into
your financial aid joints.
Aid joints. And I took that and I bought first thing I bought an SP-1200.
Word.
Because I was like, man, I seen so many people, and in hip hop, everybody have seen the back of Pete Rock and CL Smooth album, their second album.
Main ingredient. Yeah. That's right. When he had
so on the back of it, it showed you the inside of Pete Rock's studio.
Got you.
And so I used that to like, yo, I gotta get this. I gotta get this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I used that to, because it's like at that time you would hear people say certain stuff in songs, and it's like, but and so first thing I was like, I always heard everybody talk about SP-1200s. I got it, and it looked like a big ass phone. And so I did it. And so a booklet didn't come with it. And so I was like, yo, this is taking too long. Yo, this is taking too long.
Right.
During that time, I had heard about the MPC, the Kai MPC. And I got the Kai MPC 60, and I was just like, I got that, and I was like, I was finally getting something I wanted out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how I go when you first start. Once you put a bass drum and a snare together, you like, yo, you hear this? Like, yeah, I do it. It's not good, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But hold up though, man. Like I remember, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking like, I mean, so like when I first seen you with the MP, it was like I felt like it was like late 90s.
Yeah.
And then by the time you got well groomed into it, like when I started hearing stuff that you was posting on websites, and when you would come back up in Michigan, we get a chance to work.
Yeah.
And, like at this time, your MPC pads were starting to have wear and tear on them.
Yeah.
Because like you were really,
I was beating them up. I was heavy-handed with it, brother.
I mean, yeah, you was putting in work, man. And the stuff
I had to get it changed out. I had to take it to the audio spot. Like, yo, I need some new pads, yo.
Yeah. I mean, like, but what was sweet about it though?
Yeah.
Was like the stuff that like there was stuff that was loaded up in your MP, man, that like, I mean, it was like jazz stuff, man. It was like instruments and all, I mean, like 50 million drums. I mean, like it was just like, man, I'm just curious, man, like, cause I was like, man, cause I at that point, like I had just got the MPC and I was kind of getting familiar with it, but like I was nowhere nearly as versed as you were, like with the MP. And I was like, man, how are you doing this? Where are you getting this stuff from? Like, man, who are your influences? Where were you learning this stuff? Where were you? How were you learning these production techniques?
You know what? It was the hardest to do it with. You know how everybody has like mentors or other people they know that you can get sounds from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was so hard at the beginning with nobody. You feel me? Because it's like, okay, it's like, dang, okay. Nobody else I know had an MP. So it was like, so man, I used to search. I remember I used to go on find different websites that had like floppies with sounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Or, I used to just steal people's sounds on, if they left them alone, if you had that one drum or that snare by itself, oh, I'm taking it. My ears is trained to hear it by itself. Like, did I just hear a snare with no feedback and nothing behind it? Oh, I'm about to get this, right? And so I did that a lot with Dr. Dre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of Dr. Dre albums you can have, because he would, a lot of his tracks would start off like that with nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from there, I would take it. Then I would just make my own palette of sounds.
Yeah.
Taking them off of other people's albums. You know what I mean? And a lot of times those work better than the ones that you would buy. You know,
Yeah.
ones that you would buy, some lazy person made them, and you know, it had a bass drum, and you still hear the hiss behind it. I was like, yo, who made this? They got me for my money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, nowadays you could go to websites and get sounds and get different stuff. But back then you couldn't do that, brother.
Yeah, word. Okay. Well, what I do know is, especially as we started making our way, you know, up through the millennium or whatnot.
Yeah.
Your production output, man, was just, I mean, it was on par with like it was competitive. I mean, the stuff that you did for, you know, I think I missed you on my first project, but I know that you did work for me, you know, like on the Inner World album, and you know, the stuff that, especially What Goes Up, man, that was one of like people's favorite joints off the album. You know, What Goes Up. I mean, that the soulfulness, man. I mean, like how you laced it up, man. It was classic, dog.
It's like at the time, dog, I would go back and forth from Atlanta to Detroit, and I would go and work in some close family friends studio. Arnell Carmichael, that used to be in the group Radio with what's my man? Sound Ghostbusters. Ray Parker. Yeah.
Word. Yeah.
So I used to go work in his studio and work down there whenever I would come home.
Yeah.
And you know, I learned a lot just from being down there, you know, and I look back on it and I was like, damn, I didn't know nothing. But, you know, but when you look at it, man, it's like, you know, it helped a lot doing that, having those sessions and back and forth, and you know, song creation during that time. You know what I mean? You know, and as I look back on it, it's just like, dang, you know, I look back and you like, man, you so much more creative when you're younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You so much.
Well, of course, man. You ain't had kids back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can say that again.
You ain't had
kids,
kids,
brother. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right. Well, let me say this real quick. All right, so let me parlay. So here we are. We got this like this musically creative, very steep in the hip hop. Now, did you get a chance to like? I mean, like, were you mostly like just hip hop, or you sort of like mess around with like, I don't know, neo soul, or you know what I'm saying?
I just basically you know, where I was at then, I was just more hip hop. I dug a lot of drum and bass, soul, just neo soul. But you know, nowadays I would just do more like house and dance music type stuff. You know, I still do hip hop, but I don't do it now. When I do stuff now, I'm basically doing it for myself. So you know, just did. You know, as you get older, you have to go with the as you get older, as you know, you probably could be the older dude with the white beard doing hip hop. But but you know what I mean? That'd be like saying to my son, like, yo, you need to let me make some beats for you. You know what I mean? So basically I just work on, you know, personal projects now. You know, and you know how I feel, you know, and like I feel like an artist, me myself, when and there's a lot of people, if you are creative at anything, most of the time you are creative at other things. You understand? And so the way that I work is off of feeling and mood. You know, like today, I may not feel like making music, you know what I'm saying? But I might feel like doing art. You understand?
Okay.
I might feel like doing art, or you might feel like writing something, or you know, something visually. So it just depends on where that mood takes you. You know what I mean? And how you feel.
Okay, well, let me bounce on that for a second. So you mentioned art, okay, and that's one thing I did want to get into a little bit as well.
Yep.
Now you actually went to school for and I want to make sure that I respect it, right? I feel like by just saying art, you know, I feel like I'm not really giving it its due just, you know. But you actually studied. I'm saying art.
Yeah. Well, I went.
Help me out a little bit, bro.
I went to school for visual communications, commercial art.
Yeah.
Is one of the worst things I ever did. Just for fun. Just
Why do you say that though? Why do you say worse?
I say it because it is. You figure if you have this talent that was naturally given to you,
right.
When you go and you go in front of teachers that try to teach you, everybody in the class may not be as talented as you.
Right.
Drawing, artistic, however you get your artistic ability out. Everybody may not be as talented as you. So the teacher may not be as talented as you. You understand? So then you go in there and they want you to learn skills on how to do art. All right.
Okay.
When you do it naturally, you understand?
Right.
So now I'm learning how to do art without having any talent.
Okay.
All right. So just think, I'm dealing in a class with 20 people and everybody don't know how to do art. So it gets to a point where it's like I'm learning these skills that, that I could basically do without. And, at that time I was basically doing more of clothing type stuff, trying to do clothing. I'm working with different people, clothing lines here in Atlanta. And,
yeah.
You doing this, and then people stealing your designs. You know what I mean? And so then at the end of the day, you left. I'm like, you left with, you have to almost recreate yourself.
Oh, because of how they've sort of, I don't want to, like, jaded you in a sense, like sort of like they're.
Yep, sort of jaded you to a point where you like, I cannot sit down anymore and just with a book and just think of drawing.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Right. Okay, I got you.
I just can't do it. So I had to basically recreate myself on how I do different stuff. So one day I was in Washington, D.C. I was in D.C. I was in a restaurant and I was like, dang. I'm like, I gotta, I wasn't really thinking about it, but I was in a restaurant and I was like, dang, I gotta have a different medium than I had before.
Right.
And so that's a point when I had started working with wood. And so after that, I had moved to London. And once I went to London, I used to I would find pallets. You know what I mean? That sounds like some homeless stuff. But I would find pallets and just recycle pallets, and I would just create art out of those pallets. You know what I mean? And so I would I would get a saw, cut them down, sand them up, spray paint them. So I end up making graffiti out of the wooden art. So that's what, I spent that year in London just doing art. You know what I mean? Which was hard because a lot of people don't get to just not work and just do art. You know?
Yeah.
But that sounds like some artist stuff. Like, yeah, I just worked and put myself into my art for that whole year in London. You know what I mean?
But that's awesome though. You know what I mean? That experience afforded you a degree of self-discovery that was probably difficult to find when you was like stuck in the grind, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, out of that, a lot of good stuff came out of that art, and I got a lot of good art out of it. I got a nice divorce out of it. I got a lot of stuff that worked for me at that time, brother. You know what I mean? A lot of good stuff that works for me at that time. So, it was good to experience.
Hey, listen, people say, man, the way that you create, a success, or maybe one of the recipes for success, man, is that you just figure out a way, man, to take your lemons and you make lemonade out of it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
And that's what I had to do, So when it was time to get all of the work that I worked on to ship back to America, never get someone you're going through a divorce with to ship your work back to America. Brother, it might come back broke up, brother. You know what I mean?
I know, man, and that's wild, man. Because I'm sure there's a lot of time and energy that went into.
Yeah. I mean, just think you going you're going around places that you're not from, but you end up, finding art shops, trying to find where you can get spray paint at and everything else. So it was an interesting ride, brother.
But I tell you though, man, the stuff that you had out on the market was classic, man. Like I don't think I've seen that kind of wood-based graffiti, man. Like, you see graffiti on the walls, but to see it in like almost like 3D.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that was just.
I mean,
I'm sure cats like KRS-One, would probably be losing their mind. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing 3D graffiti like that.
Yeah,
I heard I just haven't seen it before.
It was good. So and at the end of the day, it's like you wait for that inspiration to hit you again. You know what I mean? Because the way I do stuff, it's almost like a period. That was a period of. That was my London period when I just did that. You understand what I'm saying? And so now you can't just exactly just delve yourself into it like that. You're like, all right, I got to go to work. Oh, I got to go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Well, hold tight. Well, let me parlay on that too as well. And I love, man, how you just, I mean, I think that's what keeping it real, what we used to say back in the day, you say it's mood based or based on how you feel, and it just sort of drives you like in that way. So you go to London, and then all right. So here it is, man. It's kind of interesting looking at your flow. So it's like boom, I'm in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? I'm knee deep. I'm a part of the hip hop culture. I get all these influences, and I become this pretty dope, not pretty dope. This amazing hip hop producer.
Yeah.
And then I go. I explore. I work with all these different cats. I mean, you being in Atlanta, you working with all kinds of artists, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And then you end up finding this situation, this love type situation or whatever that takes you to London.
Yeah.
You go to London, you get married. Now you like, boom, I don't feel like doing music like that. So now I'm in my wood joint. So you're creating all this 3D graffiti.
And let me add, around that time, it was kind of. As you know, the MPC is quite. It was the MPC 60 was quite big. You understand?
Yeah.
You can't just fit that in a backpack. You feel?
No. I get you.
Yeah. So it was like I couldn't really bring all my stuff with me at that time. Once I got there, I was able to find like, okay, I can get me an MPC studio and just throw this in my backpack. So when I was there, that's when I found the MPC studio, and I was like, okay, I can just move on with my backpack and with my laptop and my MPC studio. So it worked, but I had to let go of the MPC 60 though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What that was okay. The MPC. Okay, all right. I was gonna say because I know I had a 2000. And I want to say. You had a
and I had a 2000. Yeah, I had a 2000. Yeah, I had 2000.
Yeah. Okay, so you go there real quick, and I know we're running short on time, bro. So I'm gonna get this last piece in, brother. Before and we just have to do it again, bro. We just gotta come through, bro. I know you busy guy, man. You got all kind of stuff going on, man. Okay, okay, all right.
Father duty, you know what I mean?
So you come back to the States, man.
Yeah,
and you end up meeting with some other hip hop heads that have another idea. All right, this idea to bring about this show called Kings for Queens.
Yes.
Okay, talk to me about that a little bit. Tell us about.
Well, it's a show created by one of my brothers, Damon Jackson, and so he asked me to be a part of it. I guess I could be opinionated sometimes with some of my thoughts. And so he thought it would be a good, to add me to the roster with him and my other brother Rodney, and so I joined on the show as one of the guest hosts every week, and so we do it. It's broadcast. It's on YouTube and it broadcasts live to YouTube actually and Facebook Live every week at 7 on Sundays. So they can check it out, Kings for Queens, on Facebook Live and YouTube Live at 7 o'clock. But it's a show for women by men.
Okay, ladies, y'all out there here, you know, it's for women, all right?
You know, so sometimes, you know, we have opinions we can agree with and not agree with. So you know, but it's still a good thing. It is it's for women though. You know, uplifting women and you know, just coming from a male point of view.
Okay,
on some of the subjects. You know what I mean?
Okay, so now, so as you explained, it's for women.
Yeah.
Is it like anti-dude? You know what I mean?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't want to be that brother. So I try to give my point of view from a male point of view, but nowhere near am I dissing brothers though. You know what I mean? I'm just giving the real on how we think. You know what I mean?
Okay, so does it sort of like give like women like more of an insight as to how men think about relationships or
about our relationships, about sex, about a lot of stuff. Yeah. So it just you just hearing it from three different brothers, three different views on how we would do it or how we wouldn't do it, and what's better for you, what we think you shouldn't do or should do. You know what I mean?
Now, can brothers benefit from getting this insight on or getting this game? I mean, like, is it something
yeah. I mean, at the same time, yeah, I speak to brothers at the same time, like, yo, you know, like, no, don't do this, brother. You know what I mean?
Hey, give me something. Give me something from like. Give me some of the, you know, maybe one of the craziest topics you all have dealt with. That
one of the crazy topics.
Yeah, it could have been controversial or whatever. All right, go for it.
It's a lot of stuff that could be controversial. Last week, you know, we had a segment where people write in with their advice for Jaess, and it was a couple that was quite edgy about brothers who basically a woman had wrote in, was talking about how her man basically gets himself off, but he watches porn a lot, and so he gets himself off, and so by the time he comes to bed, you know, he's Mr. Limpy,
right?
And so she was asking, what should she do? You know what I mean? What should she do?
Right.
You know, you basically, you know, you want your man to be attracted to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, you know, he giving his life to porn and won't save any for his wife. You know what I mean?
Man, you know, I was just checking out that Killer Mike series on Netflix.
Yeah, on Netflix. Yeah.
And I forget the exact stat, but you know, it talks about, it must have been some old, I don't know, 40, 50 million Americans, you know, are really into porn, you know, like, and, you know, even as a conscious brother as myself, man, I mean, like, I ain't saying that I'm an addict, man, but, you know, shit is entertaining, brother. The shit is entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, it's entertaining you have to just come to the grips. You know, before it was pretty taboo for somebody saying that. People put you like, what? You watched it? Like, who does? Right. You know what I mean? If you lying, you're lying if you saying you don't somehow. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
I would never tell my wife, man, like, damn, like every now and then, you know, I be peeking.
It's like we all have porn visions on our phone. So anybody can look this up at any time. It's not like when we were kids, where, you know, where your parent had the videotape on top of
right,
and you find it, you know what I mean, and you're like, whoa, what is this? You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm just curious. So what did y'all tell? What did y'all tell baby girl?
Basically, like you know, what I was telling her, like, yo, you know, basically I was telling her, like, look, you know, you have to check him about what he's doing, and either he gonna save some for you, or he just gonna have to take the show somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying? Because look, unless your lady, you don't want your lady going out finding it somewhere else.
Oh, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Woo! Hey, y'all listening, y'all. Are y'all listening, man?
So you basically
bars right here, bars.
You have to satisfy your woman at home, or she gonna go elsewhere. So and she has said that the women that he was getting off to, they looked like crackheads. So I told, so it's basically like either you want to get you downgrade yourself and look like a bass head, and because obviously that's what the brother likes. So either you want to do that, or you're gonna have to talk to this brother and tell him, like, look, you about to lose me if you don't get your stuff together. You know what I mean?
Which is,
and I'm thinking, and I'm like, if that's the case, try to watch it with your woman. You understand? So, you know what I mean? It'll help, it'll help. So, it's ways around it, you know what I mean? Then rather than just leaving. But it really, when she said that, the women looked like crackheads that he was getting off to, it was like, dang, brother. So she said, like she was saying, I look way better than this. I don't understand why he's going for this downgrade for the base heads,
Brother, human beings, brother, they are complicated. They are a complicated species.
Yes.
And and it's crazy, man. But it sounds like the show was a lot of fun, man. It sounds like the brothers, man. I've seen it. I've seen several of the episodes, man. I enjoyed it, so everybody definitely go out and check out, Kings for Queens.
Yeah,
so now I know that my dear brother gotta go. So I cannot hold him any much longer, but I did want to make sure that I reserve some time to mention the Kings for Queens show. And then lastly, real quick, and we'll talk more about this, man. You got to come back on the cast.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit. I know this latest project that you've been working on too is called Jaess Revisits. You want to give us a little bit of insight as to what's that about?
Yeah. Well, Jaess Revisits, it is it's a podcast. This one won't be visual, but it's a podcast. Whereas we are basically, when I was thinking of doing a podcast, I didn't want to do what everybody else do. I wanted to do something a little different. And so basically what we will be doing is we will be revisiting classic albums, basically that I thought was classic and classic material from when we was growing up.
Yep.
That we may have listened to that a lot of people haven't heard. Or if they have, our assessment and how we felt and what we've been through during that time when we listened to a certain album, for example. So we're going to go back, tell a little about the album, tell about what we were doing during this time, what we were listening to, and talk about why the album is classic to us and how it leaves an aspect of today and how it helps out and why everybody should listen to this album and how they should go back and listen to it.
Well, I'll tell you what, brother, when you get that cast up and moving and when you have me on the show, brother, one of the albums, brother, we're going to have to deal with is Any Heartbreak, brother. Right?
Oh, hey, classic album.
Classic album, dog. You know what I mean? I was definitely coming of age during that time.
Yeah, I'm just not doing hip hop album. I'm doing R&B, rock, drum and bass, whatever you was into, whatever we was into growing up. We're gonna go back and revisit those albums. So,
hey, you know what? Another joint. Just thinking about this, man. I remember, and I know we just gotta come back on the cast, man. But maybe. We'll also go back and deal with it. I remember when we first discovered the Rhythm Kitchen, which was before the Shelter, which everybody knows from 8 Mile.
Yeah.
And at least that was my first time being exposed to Red Hot Chili Peppers. You know what I mean? And, give it away.
At Stanley's Mania Cafe, brother.
Yes.
I wish I can go back to one of those nights that we went. And was able to look around and see who all was there with the knowledge of what I have now.
Woo!
You understand? Because, brother, I remember sometimes I think back and I'm like, yo, everybody was there. We just didn't.
Listen, man, rest in peace, brother, by 10.
Yeah,
brother, I recall, when Slum Village dropped the Trinity album. I went to go check out one of the record signings, and we was kicking it about the Rhythm Kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And And I started telling him about them stories. He was like, man, I was there too. And it was almost like we was a part of the same class. You know what I'm saying? Like the hip hop class. I mean, you remember before.
I remember. I think I was watching an interview, and I think it was with T3 or whatever. And they were talking about how they used to rap like Daz Effects back in the day.
Yeah.
And I remember us being at the Rhythm Kitchen and a group coming on stage and they was rapping like Daz Effects. And I was like, what are they doing? This is, and I was thinking that, and I was like, because I remember specifically being there and I was like, what are they doing? And so that's what made me think like, dang, we seen all these people here during the time when we used to go every week. And, and this thing, Maurice Malone DJing, and it's just like, wow, to be there during that time. And what people don't know, it wasn't packed. It wasn't packed.
No, it was not packed.
A lot of people would probably like to say they was there, but it wasn't packed, brother. It was.
Hold on. What was crazy? Okay, I know we got to bubble this thing down, dog. But what was crazy is we stumbled on the Rhythm Kitchen, I
went there. I was with you, and I forgot the brother name. And we went there. It was the first time we went.
It was lucky, wasn't it?
And we never left. We was there.
Wait a minute. Maybe it was somebody else, though.
It was, brother. It was one of the nights we went to the fireworks, I believe, and somebody that you knew about it. I forget. Okay, it was a light-skinned brother. I forgot his name.
James? Oh no.
Yeah, I think it was James. Yeah, I think it was James, right? I think it was
James.
It was James. And we went there and we had a ball.
Oh my God, man!
Because I remember that night we was deep. It was a lot of people with us.
It was a lot of brother. Yeah, it was all kinds of people too there.
Yeah, it was a lot of people with us, and that's the first spot I had been to in Detroit that. It was different races there, and this is crazy. But the point is, like, they was playing the hip hop that we listened to. Yeah, this is the best ever.
And it's crazy because that is where the Rhythm Kitchen sprouted from, and that's where the shelter sprouted from. It came from
Stanley's.
Yeah, Stanley's. Yep, it came from that. Like, don't even. Man, listen, bro. Listen, I know you got to go, man. Brother, I did not mean to break my time integrity, brother.
No, it's all good, dog. Hey, I got to. I'm domesticated. I got to go pick up my daughter, brother.
Well, listen, man. So real quick, before we get out, so everybody, real quick, everybody who's tuned in, who's checking out the Akomacast, you guys, a few things. So number one. Go to YouTube, put in Kings for Queens.
Yes.
Kings for Queens. That's the latest show that my man Jaess and the other brothers that's what's the brother's name again? Who started?
We got Damon Jackson.
Yeah.
And we have my brother Rodney.
Rodney.
We and also you can find me on Instagram. I'm Jaess on Instagram and on Facebook. So
okay, word.
And check out Kings for Queens and check out Jaess Revisits. It should debut April 1st.
April 1st? You guys heard it. April 1st.
Yep.
Okay. And then lastly, real quick, when does this King for Queens, is there like a routine time that
it's live Sunday nights at 7.
All right. Live Sunday nights, every Sunday night, okay, at 7:00 p.m. King for Queens
and Facebook Live.
Yep. And Facebook Live.
Yep.
Okay. Listen, brother, man, I appreciate you coming on the cast, man. I'm definitely wishing you peace and blessings, man, and love how you do what you do, man, and just keep doing it, man. It's an inspiration, and shoot, man, you even got me thinking, man, I might have to put back on my lab coat, man, and get back in the lab, man, and crank out a little something.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you know what I do whenever I want to feel it. Hey, sometimes I'll go to YouTube and I will put up. I will go to. Have you watched Mass Appeal?
Mass Appeal. Yeah.
When I watch other people make beats, I'll be like, yo, all right, I gotta stop. I gotta go in here and make some beats, yo. What am I? You know what I mean? It inspires you. I gotta go in here. I gotta go in here and do this, brother. You know.
Well, listen, man. Man. Continued success, man. I'm looking forward to Jaess Revisits, man. I'm excited, man. You know, hopefully I'll be lucky enough to be a guest. You know,
yes, you will, brother. You will be a guest. For real.
And keep it going on, man. And so everybody, you guys got the code. You heard it here on the Akomacast. And man, you know, it's been a blessing, man. So, okay, good brother, man. So,
all right, brother.
I'll catch up with you, man. And
right.
one more thing, real quick.
Yeah.
But you said everybody can catch you. So, if people want to personally get in contact you for whatever reason, business reasons, whatever. Yeah. I know you on the gram. You said Jaess
on the gram and on Facebook.
And on Facebook.
Yep.
Okay, so give them the gram one more time.
Jaess on both. That's Jaess. Jamil, Jaess Jamil, both on Instagram and on Facebook, brother.
All right, there it is. Okay, good brother, man. I don't mean to hold you up from getting your daughter, man. And but thanks for coming on the cast, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me, brother.
All right, now. All right, peace to you, brother.
All right, talk to you later, bro.